Hello, and welcome to the Coaching Business Spotlight Show, the place to learn how to succeed in business as a coach in a way that's both practical and fulfilling. I'm your host, Kat Connect, and today we continue our theme of soul driven action because it's important to take action, of course, in order to grow your business and yourself, but action alone is not the answer. Taking action that aligns with your own knowing as well as good strategy is the key. Now, on our last show, I outlined the 7 steps of my process that I called the soul search. I went through all those steps to help you unearth the action that's right for you to take right now, today, because that's the whole purpose of the soul search process. It helps you take action that helps you move closer to your dreams, business, and life in a way that's what's present today, because it's going to be different. We can't plan out our action way ahead of time because you need to take action, find out what happens, and then calculate that and then take action again. So, on today's show, I'm going to use this process with one of the amazing coaches who is in the Soul Driven Success Business Training Program. She is bringing her much needed coaching services to the world. And my guest is Tara Weir. Now, Tara specializes in helping exhausted driven women. So take that one in for a moment. Exhausted driven women. How many of those do we know? She helps them break the cycle of overwhelm, reduce burnout, and transition from survival mode to thriving, both in their careers and personal lives. Welcome to the show, Tara. So good to have you.
Thank you, Kat. It's wonderful to be here.
Great. I appreciate you being willing to come on and help other coaches, because part of the purpose of this show is we're going to take you through the process to take a look at something that's going to help you personally, but it's
Okay.
also the intention is that everybody listening will go through the process with you and get another level of clarity about, oh, that's how my thinking works. Maybe that's where I'm stuck, right? Because we all, every single one of, including me, and I just had this morning, I think of it as the goo. I get in places where I'm like, oh, I haven't really done this before. Or this isn't working for me. And if I stay in that place of thinking, my energy just goes low and I don't really
Mhm.
go. How about you? What's your experience with that?
Yeah, mine's more, I usually spin up, like
Huh?
spin into anxiety as opposed to spinning down into low energy. I like, and then I have this that is distracting me away from what's my creative action.
That's a beautiful description. And I caught that this morning. I was like, I'm really not getting anywhere. And that's where we all need help, because taking those action steps, really, that it feels good. It's what moves us forward. It's where the life is. So tell me, what are we going to be looking at today? We're going to put it in the context of the narrative, but what's the overall area you're
Yeah,
going to be processing?
the overall area is my business program, finalizing finalizing the draft, so to speak, but finalizing my program and content.
Okay, great. So that's the bigger picture here. We're taking, again, for the listener's sake, we're really diving down into taking a look at Tara, her business program, and really getting clear on the content.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
so the number one step, I call it the narrative. And this is, if we think of as coaches, this is where we're going to unpack a little bit of what's happening right now for you in this area.
Mhm.
What's happening, Tara?
I am procrastinating a little bit. I have fears that I'm not going to include the right information. I also have this limiting belief that it's nothing special.
Huh. Yeah.
I'm just another coach trying to be hired by people, but it's not that. But that's the story that keeps echoing, that it's that I have to come up with something really different and special.
Mm.
Otherwise, it's not going to stand it.
Wow. I can feel that as you talk, Tara. And I have this one of my, I hear coaches listening to this and heads nodding, because it's like, yeah, how are we going to stand out? And there is that. Oh my gosh, it's got to be special. Anything more about the procrastinating that's happening right now, or where you're at in the process?
I had set February 25th as my deadline. So I've worked on it, but I need to nail it down since our last session. I need to nail it down. And then I started feeling pretty lousy on Saturday. So my
Mhm.
health has been taking the front seat more than anything, but it doesn't mean I can't work on it to try to meet my deadline of the 25th.
Okay. So it gets the whatever the suspense grows or tension. Okay, there's a deadline. So how often
Hmm.
is that the case? There's a deadline. Something real is here that there, you have a cold and so your energy is low. But I hear in this narrative piece, but there's some action you still want to take. You're really
Indeed.
looking at it and going, okay,
Yep.
I'm not, maybe not my top, but let's take a look at what might move me forward.
Yes, exactly.
What are the positive things, step number 2, that are in this area of your business program content?
I would say probably one of the biggest positives is that I have been doing this work with people for 10, 15, no, 10 years. So I'm not coming from nothing. So it's in there. I have the bones. I have the top three, the three P's that we talked about. And so now I just have to get some of the words around it, along with just a couple of activities that let people strengthen their skills in the areas. So the good thing is I'm not starting from scratch,
Yep.
and I'm familiar with it, and I
Mhm.
have a sense of the overarching program bones.
That's a lot right there.
Yeah.
This is such a wonderful place to be looking. So you have experience.
Yeah.
I actually hear there's a confidence in what, okay,
Mhm,
I've got,
mhm.
like you use those words, I have it in me.
Yep, it's
There's
in there.
it's in there. It is. The key
Yes.
pieces. And in the positive, what I hear, I want to really frame this for you. There's like wordsmithing is the term I would
Oh,
use. There's
yeah.
really just taking what you know and finding the words and honing and I'm doing a thing for those just listening, like with my hands. It's
Yeah.
fine tuning. There's some fine
Mhm,
tuning to do from something that you have that you already know about that feels, oh, this it's in me and I trust it. And now there's just this
mhm,
one place that I am that needs
mhm.
a little attention.
Yes. It's a great summary.
How does that
Mm.
feel?
It feels good. It's wonderful. It's great. It's a great place to start. I
Yeah.
have the negative Nelly that's
Yeah.
going on, which I know is coming. We get to talk about that soon. But yeah, there's that. Yeah. Oh, that's great. But,
Yes.
or, and,
Yes. So I love that you're naming that because I don't know if that's a normal way of thinking. So a
Mhm,
normal way, I'm going to say normal because mostly that's how the thinking pattern goes. Here's what I have that's so great. Usually though, it's quiet. Oh yeah, I got that. But the but or the and is I feel like an exclamation mark or it's bolded. There's something. So let's look at it to see what I want for you and those who are listening is to examine that aspect of your thinking to see what's true and what's not true.
okay.
Did you maybe give some phrases to that voice in your head? That's
Yeah. One of the phrases is you've been doing it, but you don't really have a sense of what to include specifically for each of the areas. So it's great that you've been doing it, but you aren't able to get a sense of what to include and what not to include.
so how does that feel when you say that out loud?
Yeah, not great. It's not, it's,
Yeah, that's great. Just close your eyes and take a minute. So because I hear two things with that. And this is where it's always important. And what Tara has just said, I want to underline. If it's not feeling great, if you're having a thought that, that doesn't feel great, is the moment to take a look and go, what part of that is true? And what part of it is there's no truth to it? It's just, yes, of course.
I would say the part that's true is that I don't currently have a super strong, that's part of why I'm creating a program is to take what I've been doing and putting it into a structure. So the what's true is that I don't have that yet. But what's not true about that is that I actually am capable. of looking at what do I
Ah,
do with my clients? What are some of the practices that I teach in my speaking events and that kind of thing. So it's they're right there at my grasp. So I am capable of that. So that was the part that I was like, yeah, that's not true. So I'm capable of
yeah.
that.
Yeah, here's where I'll pull it apart in hearing it. There's still work to be done. There's
Mhm.
still some steps to be taken. Negative is when there's still steps to be taken, you don't necessarily know. It isn't actually complete yet. Can you see this? No, it isn't complete yet. When it's complete,
Right.
it'll be complete. Till it's complete, you have the knowing, you have the this is what I heard. You have a faith in yourself.
Yeah.
You do
I do.
have the ability. I'm laughing at this because I know you, and of course, you do have the ability,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yet where you are is that what I think of as creative tension,
Yes. Perfect way to
right?
describe it.
It's uncomfortable because yes, there's still some steps to take, and until you take them, it won't be complete, and that's it. It's like as simple as that. But in that
Hmm.
creative tension, that negative voice can come in with some kind of doubt, or I almost hear underneath that you should be farther, or you should know, or
Yeah,
there's
I
there
do. There is some shoulds for
right.
sure.
Often there's this under even under what were the negative thoughts is some humming, but it should be different.
Mm,
And when
mhm.
there's no way, it can be different until you have gone through this creative tension part and nailed some
Yeah.
things down.
Yes.
Okay, so the next step is inspiration. And this is what you've demonstrated already so beautifully, Tara.
Sorry, thank you.
Yes. What inspires you here? What, about yourself, about what you're bringing, creating?
My clients and the results inspire me because
Mm,
and so I actually started looking at testimonials just to remember
mm,
because I think it's very easy to forget the impact that I've had. So it's okay. And because of that impact, I know it's possible for more women or more
mm,
people. So that's very motivating and inspiring for me that it's had a positive impact. And this really does feel I've shifted, I've pivoted in my business. And this
mhm,
is what I want to focus. Like my mission is women, is to help women. And that's really different than the first 10 years of my business. Same concepts, but just for women in a different way. Yeah.
yeah. What's
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
heart there as you're talking? I hear the inspiration is it's around, oh my God, these women need help and
Yeah.
support, and you have that for them.
I do. And this is so familiar to me because I lived this many decades ago and have been
Mhm.
practicing moving away from these habits that I help women break. So it's like I feel even more inspiration because like there are so many women, like you said, the world is full of exhausted, heart driven, mission driven, like care so deeply about their work, whether it's home or outside the home.
So true. And just for the audience sakes, when Tara and I talked about this last week, got a big laugh because I was like, I can just, that term exhausted from a caring place. It is that feels like I feel it just when we talk about it. And for most of us women, we need someone to help us with that. It's really hard to do that on our own.
Yeah. I wish I had a coach. I've done lots of different things. I
Yeah,
wish I had a coach
right. That's
back
right.
then.
That's right. Because usually we just figured it out and slogged our
That's
way
it.
through. And so standing in this inspiration, and so everyone listening, take a moment when you're thinking about your own project, your own work on your business, and some of the things Tara just said. One is she looked over her testimonials. I think that's so great. If you're in that place of creative tension, take a look. Because this is what I'm hearing is in your inspiration is you're finding what we call the why. This is what I'm here to do. I'm not here to win a prize on the best content ever in a coaching program and get a red or blue ribbon
True.
or get an A. This is about what are the components that how do I bring what I have to these women in the best possible way. So it comes from your caring as well.
Yeah.
That's what I feel here. This your heart
Yeah.
is
For sure.
now engaged.
Very much.
Yeah. So from that heart place, because this is the place we want to, when you're looking to take action, this is the most important piece is you want to make sure you're connected to your heart to what matters to you rather than just a head. Oh, because that's where the head stays. And yes, but yes,
Mhm.
and okay. And it keeps things it keeps things at that lower level and
So true.
not quite. Okay, this is exactly where I'm headed.
Mhm.
So what is the desire or the what do you want right now today when you look at this business program content?
My desire is that it flows easily,
Mm,
that I get out of my own way, and that I shift out of what you exactly just described exactly right as the head. But and what if and so shifting out of that, coming from my heart and having it flow easily with trust that I know, like I
mhm.
know what I do and I'm going to get it into words.
Yeah. And for those who are just listening, Tara's got her hand on her heart, right? And I love that because it's,
Mhm.
again, we coaches know about the heart. We know about, oh, we've got to feel it. We use words like embodiment. And yet, when it comes to business, it's so easy to just go, we cut the rest of ourselves off.
It does.
Go to the
Chin up. Yeah, pretty much.
So I hear your desire is to come from the heart, to
Yes.
actually be in your heart space, trust yourself, trust what
Mhm.
you know. So it's and I want to check in with you at this desire place before we go to the next one. Are you there right now? Do you feel your heart in this moment?
Very much. Yes, very
Mm,
much. Mm.
beautiful. We're
Yeah.
not going to do it today, but it has me wondering if we had stayed in the head, imagining what kind of things might
Mhm.
Tara have come up with.
Mhm.
Right? Because where we're going to go next is to imagining things you might do, things that might happen, ways you might be that actually have you coming. So you're in your heart now, how you continue to create from your heart, being in that flow state to create
Mhm.
the rest of the content for this program. So, what are some ways that you imagine that could happen?
I imagine sitting when I'm about to do that work, sitting down and grounding, centering, at least attempting to get out of my head and get back in my body.
Yeah. I have some things I'm gonna throw out there. I imagine a nice cup of tea or something nourishing to drink. So I
Mhm.
imagine part of it is creating a nourishing environment for yourself. I have this thought that one of the ways we stay in our heart is by,
Mhm.
oh, this feels good to me. And I'm putting myself first in a sense. I'm making sure that I feel good and I'm in a comfortable
Yeah.
place. Because
Yeah.
when it comes to work, often we can get into like we're our own boss and we're a taskmaster at getting things done as opposed to being our own boss and going, what would I like?
Mhm.
Feel good to
Well, it
me.
would feel good. Yeah. Well, with this cold, I have been sitting on the couch working under a blanket,
Hmm.
but it would probably be more comfortable with the typing to come to my desk, but I can bring my blanket with
Yeah, I love that.
my blankie.
Yeah. Bring your blankie, maybe against maybe a cup of tea or something nice and
Mhm.
nourishing. I have a wondering about and this for the listeners, this imagining piece. So you can do this on your own, but maybe as you're witnessing now, it can be helpful to have a friend or a coach or a colleague kind of help you go into what are
Mhm.
some other things that you might imagine that could
Yeah.
help this content really get honed from your heart.
That's key, right? For my
Yeah.
heart. Yeah.
What else? As you're sitting at your desk, let's imagine you're sitting at your desk, you got your nice warm blankie.
Mhm. And my cup of tea,
Got your
my cough
tea.
drops. I'm
Yeah.
taking care of myself. I imagine a blank canvas and from my heart doing a heart dump. Usually I do brain dumps. Now I'm going to do a
See,
heart dump.
my mouth just went wide open. It's like, I don't think I've ever heard of that before.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a heart dump.
Oh. How do you imagine that goes? How does a heart dump go?
I picture it because I have my 3 elements. So I picture one by one coming into my heart and looking at the first element and then asking myself questions, like asking my heart
Mm.
questions. What shift is it that they want? What can support them most? What would be accessible for people?
Oh, I really like that one a lot. What's accessible for them? Because as I'm hearing that, Tara, so where you were at the beginning. Oh, you want something special. We think, but actually, what the women want is, give me something I can understand here and grab my hands around. Not,
Mhm.
I'm kind of imagining these exhausted women. Here's the other thing that comes to me in this imagining. So, mission driven women, like I imagine connecting, like what's going to connect with their hearts,
Yeah.
not just
Yes.
their heads. What's there? And I had this flash of maybe even writing
Mhm.
down the names of some of these women that you've helped, or
Mhm.
that here's some mission driven women I know that are exhausted. So you can tune into those women to see what is it
I love that idea.
they
Love that idea.
want.
Yeah. What is it they most want? What made the biggest impact?
I also want to throw in some being things. So as you're looking at,
Mhm.
imagining you're sitting here, it's cozy, you're thinking of these women. What are a couple of ways of being that will really, I think of this as combining head and heart, like really keep
Yes,
you in
for
your heart
sure.
space, creative.
The being for me is present, very present in the moment, calm. I can pretty quickly shift into, but wait, I don't forget that. I don't forget that. And don't forget that. And then it's like everything in the kitchen sink.
That heart
And then I
dump
have to like,
becomes
yeah, I'm drowning in my heart dump, right?
yeah.
So I think that it's a continually being present and then coming back to present, coming back to present, coming back to
Mm.
present, and really trying to get it from my heart. Yes, I think the being is present, aiming for calm and open, like open to the creative juices that are flowing.
Great. That feels yes. So part of it is, oh, there's gonna be you're gonna feel things. So part of the
Yes.
being is, like you said, being present so you can notice, ooh, that particular whatever activity or piece that feels like, ooh, yeah, that's good. That's
Hmm.
right. There's some word that I'm trying to imagine in this. It's maybe it's simple, but I'm imagining that there's that so you have these three main areas that you're helping
Hmm.
these women with. It's like just a couple of things, I imagine, in each area. Just finding a couple and letting it, just letting that be enough. Just that's enough. Couple things here, couple things there.
That sounds like a lot of self acceptance and self compassion that I am enough and that I don't have
Mm.
to think of every last word.
Yeah. Here's the thing, and this has been coming to me for the last 5 minutes or so as we've been unpacking this. I don't know. This is. I don't know how where you'll put this in as when we get to the action, but your presence is actually what one of the things these women need. So imagining it's yes, there are things you'll put words around,
Mm.
but remembering, I imagine that you remember, oh, and this is me, Tara, bringing
Mm.
this, making it Tara.
That is so interesting that you say that, Kat, because I posted my interest in another women's group that I'm a part of. And one of the women asked a bunch of questions and she's like, what am I going to get? What makes it different? And I thought to myself, I was like, it's me.
Mhm.
It's, I have lived this for 35, 30 plus years. And how I show up, at least from my client's perspective, is helpful and it's
Mm.
healing. So part of what I'm offering is me.
Yes. Yes. Take
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, I'm taking that in.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's really true. When we get into talking about the marketing words that we use, this is an important place to be, to remember that,
Yeah.
that you want those words to be describing just to, you just said it. Like that's,
Yes, yes.
this is from lived experience through a highly trained and skilled coach.
Yeah.
So bringing those two things together, lived it, and that's the ultimate. So I imagine you have that in your mind and in your heart. This
Yeah.
is me and it's my words and it's how I'm doing it. And it's not from some lofty place of, I
Yeah.
don't have any, like exhausted women. Wow, what's happened to you? You're like, no, I
Mhm.
know it.
Like, yeah.
I
Oh, no, I
get
know it.
it.
I
I get it.
too that you're making me realize that there's also an aspect of heart centered because I think often when we're really care deeply, when I care deeply about something and I get really driven about it, that's when I really go into my head and I spin and I come up with great ideas sometimes, but it's not grounded in heart. And I think that's part of what my coaching offers. So that's what I want this program to offer is helping women get back in touch with their hearts and being heart driven, heart led, because we could think about these things till the cows come home.
Yep.
And if it's just
Yep.
not helping us.
I love that, Tara. So really in this program, having that as the kind of, I see it as the goal. So what's going to have these mission driven women not just driven for somebody else outside an organization or a cause they
Right.
care about? The mission, part of their mission is their own heart being expressed
Yes.
and coming from that place.
Yes.
And so I imagine as you're honing this down, those are the, I like have a visual, like those are the things that stand out for you.
Yes.
And in this heart dump, I imagine you just, first of all, you just put out here the things that are, that come through. And there's, it's like without editing first. And then
Mhm.
I imagine you could allow yourself to pare them down or put them to,
Mhm.
have some creative time about how does that come together. And knowing that, it's funny. I just heard this Maya Angelou quote. It just came through somewhere
I love her.
about that quote
Mhm.
about it's not, people don't care so much about what you say. They don't even care so much about what you do. What stays with them is how you make them feel.
Mhm.
And when we are looking for a coaching service for a coach, that's where we're mainly tuned. How does
Ah.
this feel to me? Do I feel like Tara's getting me?
Mm.
And it does, it's not usually the person can have the best words possible, but if we don't have that feeling, we're
Yeah.
just gonna keep scrolling.
So true. Yeah.
Okay, so it is time. And this is for, I just want to give a little recap for people listening. So we've gone through this whole process. Tara put out there, here's what I'm looking at. She found the positive things. We unpacked the negative and teased apart that all the, there's a whole, yeah, not true, not true, true. She's in the creative tension, inspired by what she does for others, desires to come from the heart, and then imagining ways to bring your heart into
Mhm.
landing on a couple, a few. Yeah, okay, these are the most important pieces
Mhm.
of this program. And then I'm imagining you get help from your coach. That's part of it is you're not alone. And this is an
Yeah.
important thing to remember is you don't have to do it alone.
Yes. Thank goodness.
Yeah. So when you think of the last step in this process is creative action.
Mhm.
And I want to, this is for you and for those listening. We often, when we get to action, we can think so big. Tara, you've already imagined quite a
Mhm.
lovely scene and a way of, this is why the imagining is so important. What's one step that feels like, okay, we started with, I think I'm procrastinating a little bit now down to this action from the heart.
Yes. So I just got inspired because you helped me identify what like my best mode or method is. So I have flip charts all over my office of colorful visuals and things that I've drawn and that I've created. So my step is going to be to get a blank piece of flip chart paper and put a heart in the middle and then tune into my heart and only put down what feels heart led.
Wow.
Yeah.
Love
The vision
that.
I just got. It was
Oh
right
my
there.
gosh.
Heart.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, you have inspired me, Tara. Right there
Aw.
with that. No, absolutely, because 'cause I'm a very visual person, and I get that. I'm, like, directed by things I see.
Yes.
And if
Same.
I'm seeing a spreadsheet, man, my head's gonna be like,
Okay.
but with a heart, is so cool, and I'm just gonna say, I almost imagine that could be a part of your program.
It could. It really could be.
It's like some creative
Yeah.
piece where you're having
The
these
heart dump.
yeah,
This
the
is your
heart
special
dump.
heart dump.
You've come up with these things right here. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow, so inspiring. I look forward to seeing that heart. I'd love it if you would just send me a little photo of it.
Absolutely will.
It's so cool. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Tara, for
Oh,
coming on the
my pleasure.
show and being willing to be so vulnerable and to say what and so inspiring to me, and I know the people listening because you do come from your heart, and
Mhm.
we can feel it. So there's along with the show, I always have here's where you find my guests. So if go looking for it, those of you who are
Mhm.
listening, but just so people have it audibly, what is your website where people can go find out more about what you do and who you are?
Okay, my website is Ready to Thrive Co. So Ready to Thrive co.com. And that co stands for coaching, collaboration, coactive, community. That's what it's all about. So the co means so many things. So that's why it's ready to thrive co.com.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Thanks for being on the
Mhm.
show, Tara, and I look forward to seeing how it goes. Let me know because I get listeners who contact me. They're like, "I want to find out." So I'm
Gotta
promising
go.
my listeners about how it went. I'll give them a heads up. Okay.
I will
All
definitely
right.
follow up. Thank you, Kat.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And for the listeners, thanks for listening. And I hope you join me next time.